Okay, enough prep.
You know what? I got to say this. Feeling good. I'm feeling good about this episode. Ah, crap.
Uh, should we do more prep? It's not going to make it any better.
All right. Levels.
Levels. So last night, Greg sent us a text letting us know that Liverpool is going to play Leeds in Soldier Field in August.
Leeds fans are coming to Chicago. Hey, heads up, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's like, Soldier Field doesn't have a lot of bathrooms. Leeds, no, we're good. Not a problem.
What episode was that? That was very early, where we talked about Leeds. We pee where we want.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many bathrooms you have, as nobody's using them.
Oh, Liverpool versus Leeds. I can see it on the scarf now. You'll never pee alone.
Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Prinz, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. We're just dipping into the archive here to. As soon as you were writing that, I'm like, what episode was that? I'm pretty sure that was episode 113, which shockingly, We Pee Where We Want wasn't the show title. If it was 113, the title of that was Pedestrian Casualty Reduction Experiment. Once again, remember, it's not a pedestrian casualty elimination program. It's simply a reduction. Look, let's make it, we're not going to get to zero. Let's be honest here. We're not going to get to zero, but let's just try for less.
Is the goal zero? Sure, but we're not going to get there. Stretch goal?
Maybe.
It's a flat goal.
Jeez. Fun fact.
Yes.
When we're in London and we're crossing Charing Cross Road, where that sign was posted, I don't believe it's posted there anymore, but at least once a trip while we're over there and we're there, either Lisa or I will go, remember, you're in the pedestrian casualty reduction zone. Again, some of you aren't going to make it, but maybe more of you will. Got to have goals, but you have to have achievable goals. That's how you get your cost of living merit increase.
I just want to cross the damn street. Speaking of feedback from the past.
Yeah.
So I got a random text from David Batchelder, toddler number 6. What was the name of the FedEx guy in Orlando that you had such a problem with? I'm like, hell, I don't remember. Was it Michael? Was it? I don't remember. So then I had to go look. Todd?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
It was Kevin.
It was not Kevin.
All right. Well, I'm out. That's what I got.
I had to go back and look.
Yep.
It was Cody.
Cody feels like the character you bring in after Kevin has been the main character for 4 seasons, and then the negotiation on his contract doesn't go well, and Kevin's got to I'm going to get more money, and the producers are like, we're not going to pay that. And so then all of a sudden in your show, Kevin is no longer there, but Kevin's cousin Cody is now simply taking the place in the middle of the family for reasons that nobody understands.
Lowell is no longer the mechanic. It's now whatever the guy was that replaced. So again, David is traveling overseas. And he saw this sign with a sticker on it.
Well, there's lots of stickers, but I think the one that you're referring to says F. Cody.
It does say F. Cody. And he's like, just wanted to make sure that was right. What episode? So then I had to go back and look and see what episode it was.
Yep.
It was episode 198. I thought it was episode 199, but it wasn't.
Now I'm trying to figure out. You know what? Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm like,
one.
I wonder who this Cody is and what he. Oh, I found out. Never mind. Apparently, it has to do. Well, it depends. There's actually multiple Codys who. There's a lot of hostility towards multiple Codys online. I'm just going to close that tab. Okay.
So I went back to look at it, and it was a guy at FedEx who was very, very unhelpful at the FedEx in Orlando at the convention center. It was episode 198, and the title of 198 is "What's in the Show is in the Show," because there were recording issues, and at some point I just finally gave up and stopped editing, and we published. And
which set for 3 years later became Dwayne's. What if I just did that all the time?
But the way I found it was the feedback from Danny about "Screw you, Cody."
Oh,
It should have been the title of last week's episode. The title of episode 199, "I Can Still Taste the Pecan." At which point, Batchelder informed me that he was going to listen to 198 and 199 on his flight back. It's like dipping into the archives. Apparently the good stuff, sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you just got to play the hits.
You do. Also, I'm also thinking that's 2 more downloads. That's going to like, hey.
And unless he saves them all on his podcast player and never deletes them and just goes back and plays them rather than, but otherwise.
Yeah.
Those downloads count on the new system because we stopped counting on the old system. So that's good. Anybody that wants to download again on the new system, that's good. Let's see.
Did we have any other? I was going to say, do we have any other feedback?
Yeah. Also from Greg. By the way, Drunk Shakespeare in Chicago is 100% better than in Utah because only one actor is drunk in Chicago, and they still do an amazing job. So,
I assumed when I read the first sentence, it wasn't. It was just because everybody in Chicago is normally drunk all the time, so they can just do Chicago. They can do Shakespeare drunk because how would you know?
Also from Danny Toddler 401k, you had 2 Ship of Theseus jokes already this year. I feel like that's one too many.
It feels like a challenge.
I feel like we can just keep recycling the same jokes over and over and over, and eventually it's a new joke.
If we just change one word of the joke, just
every time,
just each time, just the same, just a little part of the like each time. Maybe it's a different subject, maybe it's a different verb, maybe it's a different punchline, but eventually it's the same joke.
Maybe it's just the inflection. To be or not to be? That is the question. To be or not to be, that is the question. Have you seen this done? They did it at the Royal Shakespeare. I don't know. Anyway, you should go find this. Google "to be or not to be." That is the question. And famous actors who played.
And their choices.
Yes. And I won't reveal the punchline, but the punchline is great. So you should find this.
The Aristocrats.
Bingo. The last piece of feedback we got also leads us
actually
to an actually, Todd.
Yeah.
So during last week's Todd Oughta Know,
one of us, it's not even, we're not even clear who. I'm not clear who.
Are you sure? Why? I'm not sure why you wouldn't be clear who.
Might have been me.
It could have been. Could have been. There was this really big Lego statue.
Yep, of a famous church in Barcelona.
Right. Well, it was a really big Lego statue,
Of
in
the world, well, in New York of the World Cup.
of the
Well,
World
by
Cup.
the way, I saw the real World Cup on Sunday. That Lego thing didn't look any bit. It had nothing to do with it. Anyway, that's fine. Neither here, nor there. Okay. Yes. So we were talking about the 26-foot tall Lego statue of a replica of the World Cup, and then it went from there.
And then you compared it to the
You-
church Lego statue, which
yeah.
is officially the Sagrada Familia. Todd, according to Toddler 1059 and 1060, woof, you referred to it as Familia Sangria,
I
and
I may have.
and Yvonne replayed it at least 5 times to ensure that she heard it correctly.
Yep. Yep. May have done that. Yeah. Got to be honest. That one may be on me.
I don't I I don't even know what Familia Sangria is, Todd.
Sangria. Oh, it's a bit of red wine, a bit of fizzy pop. It's very refreshing.
Nice. Well, I'm glad our toddlers are on their toes, or paws, or whatever. Anyway, it was not clear to me as to whether it was Yvonne or Wrigley that backed up the tape and re-listened.
Wrigley wouldn't have done that because he's a good boy. I will say this.
Yes.
Well, two things. One, we drove down to the disclosed undisclosed location last weekend, get in on Friday night, pull into the driveway. Lisa's in the house. The dogs are in the house. We've just shut the car off, and I'm starting to unload it. And all of a sudden, Wrigley comes trotting up the driveway. Yvonne and Wrigley were out for their walk. They saw us kind of driving in, and then he had to come across the street. And then so he comes up to say hi, at which points the dogs inside are now hearing that Wrigley's outside. So they start barking. So now he's making noise. So then we all head inside so that all the dogs can say hi to each other. Two, though, here's the reason why I made the mistake about the church. I'll just admit this. You hear from lots of people, this is amazing. This is the eighth wonder of the world. Like they're doing all these programs on it because it just got finished, although it's not going to be finished for another 6 years. I don't understand. Anyway, whatever. I'm not a big oh my goodness, look at these churches. Yeah, there's some churches. Once you've seen St. Paul's and once you've seen St. Peter's, everything else is like, okay, yeah, it's a church. Okay, that's fine. I see this one and I'm just like, it doesn't work for me. It looks like candles have melted. It looks like wax dripping, or like you've walked into a cave, and I just look at now. Admittedly, I've not been there in person. Maybe I go there in person. I look and then I go, oh my goodness, this is the most amazing thing ever. But not really. So the fact that I didn't know the name of it, that was an official correction. I got it wrong. In my mind, I'm surprised I got that close. So I count it as a win. Again, totally wrong. In my mind, close enough.
I had one other piece of follow-up, I guess, that I wanted to ask about.
Yes.
During last week's cold open, we talked about bands that were on the list that should stop touring.
Yes.
Did this hit you guys' feed because Def Leppard was on that list?
They were not on the list.
Shocking, honestly.
That they should stop touring. Oh, trust me, the people that were on this list were, over half of them were, wait, they're still alive? And when I say they're still alive, because they were around in the 60s. A number of the bands that were on there, and I can't remember all of them, a number of the bands that were on there were also no original member of the band is still alive, and yet they're still touring under the band. Are you still seeing the band? Which is kind of like never mind, I'm not going to go there. But that's why like a third of them, it's almost as if you take out one piece and then you put in a bass player, and then you take out, and then they, okay, he's been there 20 years, and then you take out this guy, and then you take out the lead vocalist, and eventually there's no original member, but they're still touring. Anyway, I think that's where the joke came from last week, so I'm not going to make it again. If not, it's
Mythic.
implied. Yeah.
If
But yeah, trust me, there's a lot of it. Although one of the ones that was on there was a newer band than Def Leppard that was on there was Guns N' Roses, for instance.
are they even
At,
still together?
at least they were when the video was made. I don't know,
Oh,
but
well,
that
then
was
there you
part of
go.
it.
Okay.
Axel doesn't sound great and not that reliable. So
Uh, let's see. Oh, Todd's Tech Corner, as brought to us by the Taylor Center for Technology Policy, which is not related to the Taylor Farm.
although I think they share some sort of corporate ownership, so I hope not.
Oh,
I,
we may need to consult the legals to make sure that we don't get in trouble with that.
what I'm going to tell you
Yes.
is at one point in Jesse's office was a plaque. It's a wooden plaque that was like laser etched into it that has the phrase Taylor Farms on it, and he displayed that proudly in his office for multiple years. Is it that Taylor's Farm? I don't know. But what I'm telling you is, anyway.
I'll tell you what I know, true or not.
Hey, Jesse, where's that plaque? What plaque? I don't have that plaque. No, I have a picture of it. No, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That must be an AI hallucination. No.
No, never mind.
This may be a recurring thing for the next couple of weeks because, I talked about how I think they fixed Siri mostly.
Yeah.
So this is the new, what did Todd do with Siri this week that blew him away?
Yeah. How's your phone?
2 things. Not bad. I don't get any complaints. Nope, that's not it. Pause for laugh. None. Moving on.
Glad I was not drinking water at that point.
So I did 2 things that kind of surprised me. Number one, so Lisa and the dogs are down at the disclosed undisclosed location this week, which means Todd's eating out of the freezer. And we've got some Costco pepperoni pizzas in the freezer, and to save space, Lisa got rid of the box, and I'm like, oh, the instructions are on the back of the box, and I know how to make frozen pizza, but I just want to get the temperature right because they're perfectly good, cheap frozen pizzas. I'm thinking, wonder how I can make sure I get the temperature right. So go on my phone, search for Costco frozen pepperoni pizza. Takes me to the Costco site. Picture comes up, slide over to the back of the box, zoom in a little bit. And then I simply push the button, activate Siri, and say, take the baking instructions and put it into an Apple Note. And it says, working on it. And then it creates a new Apple Note, titles it Baking Instructions for Costco Pepperoni Pizza. It looked at the image, found only the baking instructions, OCR'd it, and then put it into the Apple Note as text. I'm like, well, that's pretty good. Did I need it? No. But could it do that? Could it do that 3 weeks ago? Absolutely not.
You know what else you could have done?
What's that?
You could have called me. It's 4:25 for 13 to 16 minutes.
I could have done that as well. Yes. I did not know though, but
we eat a lot of those pizzas around here.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
To the point where I can control my new stove with my phone.
Okay.
And I can't believe. Does my stove need an app? No. Does it have an app? Yes, it does.
Yes.
And I can open the app on my phone when I'm at Costco and hit a button that turns on the phone preheating to 425. It's labeled Costco Pizza.
You did say preheats your phone. I think that's playing a game, but I think you meant preheat the oven. But you can preheat your phone too. But you have a button called Costco Pizza. Yes.
Yes. All I need to do is put the charger on the back of it and it will preheat the phone. You're correct. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. Yes. I can preheat the oven from my phone. One button touch, 425, 13 to 16 minutes.
See that? Okay, so that violates one of my rules. One of my things I learned early on, because there was an incident. You never turn on an oven without opening it and verifying that there is nothing stored in it.
Oh, that is so correct, Sue. It is. Yes, it is.
Hey, look at this. I can turn the oven on from here. Click. How do you know that you didn't store stuff in there? What?
Sorry, what?
Oh, the big pans. Yep, they're going to get hot. Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
in my house, it was and I don't understand why. Hey, did anybody know where the pizza we got delivered last night is? The box with the pizza in it? It's in the oven. The one that's heating up. Yeah, that pizza is going to be preheated with the cardboard catching on fire. Anyway, second thing I did.
Yes.
Next month, going to a concert, going to see Mark Cohn. We've seen him in concert multiple times. He's the one-hit wonder known for Walking in Memphis.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to go see him in Memphis. Go ahead.
No, he doesn't play there very often. A lot of upstate New York, and then occasionally West Coast. So he's coming here. We're gonna go see him. And I know I've got pictures, but I never labeled them, and so I just said, "Hey," so push the button, ask Siri, "When's the last time I saw Mark Cohn in concert?" And said, "Working on it." And then it came up with a date in 2016. And the reason why it found that was it said, "I found a PDF with your tickets from July of 2016. Excellent." So then I'm like, oh, so if I go to 2016, I'm like, oh, there we go. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go put a little caption, Mark Cohn concert, just put that in there, or whatever. So then today, I'm like, I wonder if it's indexed that or not. So then today I said the same thing. Hey, when's the last time? And then it said, oh, you saw them here. You saw him here. And then it pulled up one of the pictures to prove this is where it got it. It got it from. Now, the other thing I did, I then said, that's interesting. So then I asked it, what's the last concert I've been to? It says, you saw Def Leppard. You saw Def Leppard on this date. You saw Def Leppard on this date. I said, where was that? That was at the main grandstand of the Iowa State Fair. And then I said, what was the set list for that concert?
No.
And it went to Setlist FM, found it, and gave me the playlist from that show, knowing that it was the date that it's Def Leppard, it's on this date, and then it went to Setlist FM, looked it up, and then returned the set list of, like, holy crap, like, it's working. Like, son of a gun. I was pretty impressed. I was actually like, did I care about the set list? I did not care about the set list, but I'm like, I wonder if it can find it. Yep, it found it. So anyway, there's Todd's weekly update of, hey, look what Siri can do now. One of these weeks, you're going to say, what can Siri do now? And I'm like, not a damn thing. Have a problem? I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, they updated and now everything's broken.
Also, to everybody that got that email, I am really sorry. That was not me. That was Siri. I also especially want to apologize to Cody. That was uncalled for. Okay, anyway.
Oh, let's do this.
Dwayne's never going to guess it.
Who, me?
Never ever going to guess it.
I don't know.
No, Dwayne's never going to guess it.
Yas Queen?
Never ever going to guess it.
That's right. That sound means it's time for America's favorite game. It's time for Dwayne Guess a Number. Okay, Todd, what'd you bring this week?
Okay, 4 or 5 days ago, the 2026 World Cup ended. So I have a question for you about the 2030 World Cup. Time to get ready. We've had a couple of days. Here we go. Dwayne.
Jesus. Okay.
Dwayne, how many countries have already qualified for the 2030 World Cup? Have qualified to participate in the 2030 World Cup 5 days after the last one finished.
One?
And who do you think that is?
Spain, because they won.
Spain is one of the teams, but not because they won.
Okay. Are there automatic qualifiers because of how you placed this last time?
There are not.
Oh, okay.
I will give you a hint. For this World Cup, 3 teams automatically qualified for this tournament. I will give you a second hint. The USA was one of them.
The host countries.
The host country or host countries automatically qualifies. If they're throwing a party, they get to attend.
They get to attend, and because most of the games are in Spain next time they're in, which means also that Portugal is in and somebody else, because there's games in Argentina because they hosted the very first World Cup.
You're up to 3. Let me know when you think you're at the right number.
I think there are 4 different countries that are hosting games. I think there are 4 automatic qualifiers. That's my guess.
Spain, Portugal, Argentina, and somebody else.
That's my guess. That's what I'm going with. Am I wrong? Of course I am.
You are low.
Oh. Well, it is the World Cup. I guess they're playing it all over the world. I don't know.
The actual retail answer,
yes,
is 6 countries have already qualified for next time's World Cup. Remember, this year there were 48 teams. Probably it's going to be 64. But if they stay at 48, that's 12.5% of the field gets automatic qualifications. So you were right. So Spain,
yeah,
Portugal,
yeah,
and Morocco,
right. Yes. Okay. Yep.
are hosting the bulk of the matches.
Yep.
However, because this is going to be the centenary World Cup, the first one was held in 1930. They are going to have a match in Uruguay where the inaugural World Cup final was held. And also, for reasons that are not clear to, I'm assuming, money. Although it's Argentina, so it could be Nazis.
It's a good note. That's not wrong.
More often than you think down there. Buenos Aires is going to have one match, and one match is also going to be in Paraguay. So the next World Cup is going to be held on 3 continents. They're going to play 3 matches in South America, and then those teams have to then get over to either Europe or Africa to then play. But 6 teams have already punched their ticket to the big dance in 4 years. Congratulations, I guess, on your success.
Some of those teams aren't taking away spots from anybody else, right? I mean,
Actually,
Argentina's going.
All 6 of
Spain.
them.
Yeah.
All 6 of them. I mean, Morocco is a top 15 team at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all 6 of them were in this current World Cup. Some of them crashed out hard early, like Uruguay, but they're all there. So, yes, are they taking anybody's spot? Not really.
Probably not.
But also, it's easier than qualifying? Not qualifying. It's still getting to attend.
That's how you do it.
So, for years and years, before you guys started watching F1, there was a rule in F1. So, at one point during F1, there were more teams, there were more drivers than spots in the field.
Yes.
So, you would show up and there were 20 or 22 spots in the field, and there were 24, 26 drivers that would show up. So qualifying actually mattered. And then after that all kind of got straightened out, mostly teams went bankrupt. Then there was a 107% rule, which said that to take part in the race, your qualifying time had to be within 107% of the pole sitter's time, which kept teams who weren't up to speed at all. Like you couldn't just show up in your in your Ford Focus and say, I don't know, I'm one of the 22, so I get a spot, right? So David, I'm trying to think of who it was. The guy who, the American broadcaster who did this on Speed and then Fox and then NBC. His big deal was every time we went to the qualifying thing, his comment was, and before you can race Spa, you must qualify. Eventually, they got rid of that, and the teams are paying so much money. They got rid of the 107% rule because these teams are spending hundreds of millions of dollars a year. They're going to race because the sponsors expect them to. But he kept up, that was his slogan. But it was sort of like every time he said it, I was just saying it. Before you can race, you have to show up. You were in the race. Like you're in the club. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Like you're in.
You're good. Yeah.
Matter of fact, sometimes the cars would break down and wouldn't even make it around it. And the stewards would be like, yeah, we think you would have gone fast enough. Yeah, you're in.
Close enough.
Yeah. Anyway, so before you can partake in the 2030 World Cup, you must qualify or host at least just one match. Anyway, there you go. Sorry, no bell on that. You were 50% off.
Not a full Dwayne.
That's true. That's true. And a hell of a sale if you can get it, but not what we're looking for here.
Speaking of World Cup, should we do some idiots of the week? I brought World Cup.
We're in World Cup. Might as well stick there. Yes.
World Cup fever. Catch it. Or don't. Don't eat the lettuce and you won't catch World Cup fever. I think that's how that works. Maybe not. Should we start with the old guy that won't leave the stage?
I mean, one's a little easy.
It's low-hanging fruit. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it. But here's the thing. My idiot in that example is not the old guy that won't leave the stage.
The confused old guy.
Confused. Definitely confused.
Confused old guy. Yeah.
It's everybody else that knew for a year that this was going to happen and then yet still let it happen.
What I'm really surprised is that nobody stood off to the side with a Big Mac and then just shook it.
Hey, over here.
Hey,
over here. Look over here.
Follow this. Who wants a Big Mac? Who wants a Big Mac? Who wants a Big Mac? And a Diet Coke. Got a Diet Coke. Come on, let's go. I could have solved the whole thing.
Somebody that I read online had a different solution, which was paint a big gold X on the stage because he would be drawn to the gold. Yeah. And then underneath that gold X on the stage have a trapdoor. Because he'd be drawn to the gold and then whoop, and he's gone. So
I was more thinking what you really needed was off to the side there where he was standing. What you needed was, yes, put some gold shiny thing for him to look at. And while he's doing that, the stage separates and the team just like on a float, just starts heading away. They're dancing and celebrating. Whoa. Yeah, it's just like the Rose Parade. But that's not that. I mean, that's not the only idiot though here at the end of the World Cup.
No. So the field that they were on in New Jersey.
Yeah, the grass field that they put in specifically for that.
Right. Hashtag worth the cost. The grass field that was installed and paid for by the citizens,
by the owners of the billionaire owners of the stadium are the ones that paid to put in, because that normally has turf, right? and everybody complains about the turf. But the World Cup said you have to play on grass fields. So I'm assuming the billionaire owners of the stadium are the ones that paid to put the grass field into the stadium that they're making the money off of, right?
No, that would be the citizens of the state of New Jersey that paid to put in the grass field.
Okay, so FIFA didn't pay to put the field in.
No.
The owners of the stadium didn't pay. Literally,
No.
taxpayer money was spent to buy grass. Looking at you, California, and Colorado, and other places. Anyway, so wait, taxpayer money was paid to put in the grass field. Okay,
Right. And then do you know what FIFA is doing with some of that grass field?
I believe they offered it for sale that you could buy chunks of it to have a piece of the field that the final was played on.
Right. And if all of that grass that they took and put under glass and sold out, they could generate as much as $22 million, which would more than cover the cost of installing the grass.
Which was like $12 million, I think,
Right.
wasn't it? It was about $12 million they had to pay for this.
Yeah.
So wait, so if New Jersey paid for the field,
yes,
don't they own the field?
Yes, they do.
And FIFA said, that's a nice field you got. I'm going to sell it.
Yes, they did. And do you know how much of that revenue is going to go back to the citizens of the state of New Jersey?
Who paid for it?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes, they did.
It's not 980 billion.
No, it's not. It's a little less than that.
I'm guessing 0.
You are correct, sir. Yes, you are. Now, there have been some legal wranglings thanks to Governor Mickey Sherrill. We'll see whether anything actually comes of this. And FIFA's all like, yeah, we're not taking all the money, blah, blah, blah. But
look, all of the money goes for grassroots football development around the world, how we bribe people to vote for our guy. But yeah, you don't want to take money away from kids. All of this money is going to help kids play football. Does New Jersey not want kids to play football? Well, we did, but we had to take $12 million out of the youth sports fund to pay for the field.
For the record,
yep,
I see what you did there with grassroots development.
That's what I'm here for.
That was sneaky. That was good.
It took a little while to grow, but you got there.
These are jokes that need to be cultivated. They need to be watered and cared
for. We're done.
For.
Nope, we're done. I'm being told. Hold on. Nope, I'm being told right now we're done. One other one. That was not me. That was seriously not me. I told him to stop. I was very clear that we should stop, and he didn't. But that's not me. I don't control the soundboard or the edit.
Blame it on the edit.
Blame it on the editor. This is not my idiot, but cleaning out the idiots, the World Cup idiots. On top of that, Dwayne, did you see that FIFA was selling access to the final press conference before the final?
No.
Yes. So there was going to be a press conference with members of the 2 World Cup final teams and, of course, FIFA president Gianni Infantino. If you wanted to attend, they were selling tickets so that you could, not as press, if you wanted to, you could get in and you could watch the press conference. Any idea of how much that cost?
$1 million.
A little less. They weren't that greedy.
Oh. $1,000?
They charged 60 British pounds, which is $80.
Oh, very reasonable.
To attend, it's $80 to attend a press conference whose sole purpose is to have members of the media then report on everything that is said in the press conference. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do with this segment now that FIFA's not going to be around for a while. Rich vein of content. However, for mine, I'm going to stick in the sports category. Big shocker. Dwayne, do you know who won the Stanley Cup this year?
Lord Stanley's Cup?
Yes.
It was not Las Vegas.
Correct. They lost.
Okay, I got one of the two teams that played in the finals. Hold on.
Okay.
It was not Columbus.
Oh, this
I
is
can
going to
do
take a while.
this. I'm pretty sure it was not the Maple Leafs.
Was not a Canadian team.
It was not I can rule out all the Canadian teams. No, I give up.
It was the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
Yes. Who is owned, the owner of that is, sorry, looking for his name. Tom Dundon is the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Dun, dun.
Dwayne, after your team wins the Stanley Cup, what is the honor? What happens to the cup? Besides, it gets bashed, it gets beer, it goes to pools, it gets dropped off of buses. But what's the thing that quote unquote lasts forever about the Stanley Cup that is unlike any other trophy in sports?
Everybody's name is on it?
Everybody on the team, everybody who's on the team gets their name etched on the Stanley Cup.
On the cup, right.
On the
They
cup
also
itself.
They also get to spend a day with it.
Yes. Yeah. So the cup is filled. I mean, all the great players in history, right? The name's on the cup, right? That's the part, is that once you win the cup, once you've earned the right, your name gets put on the cup forever. So now that includes the owner. The owner gets to put his name on. The owner gets to decide whose name. But normally it's the team. Maybe it's some of the maybe it's your president, maybe it's your vice president, maybe the old equipment manager that's been with the team for 40 years gets to put his name on the cup, right? They get to decide who.
Okay.
And Tom decided he made some decisions. Here are the first names that got engraved on the cup where it says Carolina Hurricanes 25-26. See if you pick up a pattern here. First name, Tom Dundon. Okay, cool. Second name, Verushka Dundon. Next name, Caden Dundon. Next name, Dax Dundon. Drew Dundon. Blank Dundon. Tegan Dundon. Want to take a guess if that's which position they all play?
Offspring?
Bing and spouse. So Tom decided that the first names that go on the cup is his name, his wife's name, and all of his children's names, some of whom are in college, none of whom work for the team. They don't even have a position. There have been in the past, people's kids or spouses have been put on the cup, but normally they're adult children who have got jobs in the organization, right?
I'm the marketing director.
Right. Okay,
right,
fine,
yes.
whatever, right? I believe some of these aren't even in college. Like, he literally just put his kids' names on the cup. So the hockey world is not impressed that Tom chose to do this. Also, at one point in its history, somebody put their kids' names on it, and the NHL, because it's engraved on the cup, they engraved the kids' names. And back in 1984, the father of Edmonton owner Peter Pocklington was included despite having no role in the franchise. The NHL ordered the name to be crossed out on the cup.
So it's on there, and now it has a strike through?
It's a strike through
Nice.
on the cup because he had nothing to do with the team. No comment from the NHL about this abomination. So anyway,
yeah. They'll get it back
Stanley
at some
Cup.
point.
It's a participation trophy.
It's there. You go.
Way to go, Tom. And way to go, kids. Yeah. What's how do you pronounce that last kid's name? I think it's Nepo. Nepo baby.
No.
Dundon. I think that's how it's pronounced. Any follow-up travel stories?
I had one picture from last week that I did not send you that I was going to. There it is. There was a corner hat stand where you could buy stuff.
Okay. All right. That's photo smaller than I expect. That's a live photo. All right. Let's see. I'm assuming the CVS is on the other side of the road.
Yes.
Okay. And it says sunglasses on sale, $10 each. Cool.
Right. Very, very straightforward.
We accept all payment, cash, Apple Pay, all major credit cards, Zelle, and Venmo.
No. Zoom in.
Vimo.
Yes, they take
We
Vimo.
accept Vimo. Vemo.
Yep.
Vimo. Or Vimo. Depending on if it is to be or not to be. Yeah. Oh, so they accept Vimo. Okay, cool.
They do. Also at the same stand.
You can get yourself a hat cap.
Yes,
for $5.
you can. $5 hat caps.
Do you have hats? I do. Do you have caps? I do. Have hat caps? Sure, whatever. I got it all. I got hats, I got caps. I mean, here's the thing. You call this a stand. This is really a mobile haberdashery, is what this is.
Yep, that's fair. Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, wow. You can get your Yankees hats there. I'm assuming those are legit.
They're Yankees-ish.
Oh, they're Yankee inspired. It's NY with an interlocking NY, but not in the exact same manner.
Correct.
Oh. That's like a Vimo version of the hats.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's close. And I have to say, I saw a lot of them out on the street.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
For $5, there you go.
I mean, here's the thing. For $5, like, how long does it even have to last?
Just keep the sun off my head for a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said one picture from New York City. I sent you two, but it was the same stand. So, and technically the sign was in the second picture. I could have gotten away with just sending you the one, but anyway.
I'm sure one of our listeners will go back and listen to it and correct you.
Didn't he just say one and then he sent two? Actually, what are you watching this week?
Well, we watched the World Cup. The World Cup semifinal, the bronze game. That was a hoot. 6-4. Like, tell you what, if all the games were like that, now we'd have some fun, right? Like,
are you playing defense? I'm not playing defense. Are you playing defense? Hell, I'm not playing defense. Go nuts, man.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
That's right.
That was a fun game. And then on Sunday was the final, which was less fun.
When the game counts, we're actually going to play defense.
Yeah. And actually, we're going to play a lot of defense. Like a lot. Not spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the final yet. The fact that Argentina played 120 minutes of football plus stoppage time and didn't even register a shot on goal. Like, that right there is just like, what are you doing, man? Like, they tried a lot and it kept getting blocked. But, like, do you know that this was going to be the other Dwayne guess a number, but I couldn't figure out how to make it exactly. Here's a question. Dwayne, who had more saves in the tournament? Sorry, who had more saves? The Spanish goalie for the 7 matches they played, or the Cape Verde, the Cape Verde goalie against Argentina in one match.
Oh boy, that's going to be tough. I have to think Cape, because you're asking the question, I have to think it's Cape Verde, but it's got to be close.
Yeah. I believe, I'm looking this up. I'm sorry because I heard this. I want to make sure. I believe he may have set the records for most saves in a match at 14 or 15 in a single match. And the Spanish goalie, I think, was credited with 10 saves the entire tournament. He won the goalkeeper of the tournament, right?
Yes.
Because he had 6 clean sheets, I believe, out of 7 games. I think he's officially credited with stopping 10 total shots. How do you know if he's a good goalkeeper?
It's easy to be perfect when you don't have to do anything.
That's like calling Dion the defensive player of the year when he doesn't tackle. Like, yeah, he doesn't tackle and he doesn't even get any interceptions. He just runs with the dude and they never throw it to him. The Spanish goalkeeper is just like, let me know when you need some help because I'm just final. Didn't do anything. I'm cool. Anyway. Yeah. How about you? What do you watch? Oh, and then I immediately went from that to we've been watching, and now that's the last one left. The Tour de France. It's in its final week, so we've also been watching the 25-minute recap every night on YouTube from Peacock of the tour because ain't nobody got time to watch the full 5.5 hour coverage every single day. So there we go.
From
How
the
about you?
from the recap I read, it's over.
Yeah,
barring catastrophe.
It was kind of over already, and then the number 2 rider crashed out and
broke a collarbone,
and he was the only person that had a chance to win, and he didn't exactly have a chance to win this year. And then the next stage, which was 2 days later, the guy who finished third last year, who was last year's best new rider, also he crashed out. I believe he may have also broken a collarbone. So yeah, basically there's some spots open on the podium. Number 1's pretty well wrapped up. So yeah, this thing's been decided a while ago, but watching guys ride up mountains. Sure, let's do that for a little bit.
Speaking of things that I watched but didn't really need to, I guess. I don't know. There's a new show on Netflix, Will Ferrell, called The Hawk.
Okay. Is that where he plays a former baseball player who broadcasts White Sox games?
No. He also doesn't different. He also does not play an aging skateboarder. Oh. But the aging skateboarder does make a cameo in this series. It's 10 episodes. They're about 30 minutes each. Fortune Femister, Luke Owen. I don't know. Anyway, everything you need to know about this show is in the theme song. The Hawk. He's a golfer. The greatest golfer in the world. That's the entire theme song right there.
There you go.
Let's put this one under. I watched it so you don't have to.
Okay.
I don't know why I finished it, but I did. I was hoping that maybe it would get good or funny or touch. This could have been an 87-minute movie. And it would have been okay on, Amazon on a Tuesday night. I don't know. It certainly did not need to be 10 episodes long. Ooh, quick question. The other guy that was in it, Keith David? Todd.
Yeah.
Keith David. Black guy, white guy?
White guy?
Nope, that would be David Keith. David Keith is the white one. Keith David is the black one.
damn it, you stole my joke because I decided I was going to pick whichever. When you told me I was wrong, I'm like, oh, I must be thinking of David Keith, and you stole my joke. God damn. All right.
That's why I had the joke set up. That's you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I then we also staying with Netflix watched Harlan Coben's I Will Find You.
Okay.
Not really murder mystery. This one is a kidnapping mystery. It's okay. We watched it in a weekend. Meh. It's better than The Hawk
The greatest golfer ever
in the world.
in the world.
Yeah, the greatest golfer in the world. The Hawk. He's a golfer. Nope. Just don't waste your time with this, people.
By the way, rumors are starting to come. The screeners for Ted Lasso have dropped to people.
Oh, really?
I don't know that the embargo has dropped yet. I don't know that I've seen reviews, although maybe I saw one today. The rumors of the people that have seen it, there was some concern. How are they going to replicate what they did? It's a whole new storyline. You know, is this just for the money? I believe I saw somebody that said, yeah, they captured season 1's magic again. Like,
Oh,
I've heard from people who have seen the screeners on podcasts. This is what you want. This is exactly what we were all worried.
Yep.
Jason knows what he's doing.
Fantastic.
I think that comes out August 4th.
I can't wait.
Anyway, yeah. By the way, real-time follow-up.
Yeah.
Before we move on, so I don't have to get it. Do you want to play the actually right now? Can you just play that for me?
Actually.
Yes.
It was the Curacao goalkeeper, Eloy Room, made 15 saves against Ecuador, which may or may not have tied the World Cup. Nobody's exactly sure, which is weird because it's stats, whether he beat Tim Howard or not. Anyway, he saved 15 shots in a 0-0 tie to earn the Caribbean nation its first World Cup point. The Spanish goalkeeper, Unai Simon, made 10 saves through the entire 7 games of the World Cup. Also pointed out, here's a nice meme. He made 10 saves in the entire World Cup. Emiliano Martinez of Argentina made 11 in the final alone, but he didn't make 12. So
that's true.
Goalkeeper's shirt is pristine in the photo of him receiving his trophy. Doesn't even need to hit the showers. Anyway, thank you for letting me correct that before I was corrected.
You're welcome. The thing that I learned this week is kind of an old man get off my porch sort of deal.
Yeah.
We went to dinner at Backpocket Pin and Pixel, which is an arcade and duck pin bowling restaurant up in Johnston. We'd heard good things about the food, and we thought, well, we can also do, it's the little tiny bowling balls that you just hold in your hand, and the pins are all on strings, right? Are you familiar with duck pin bowling?
I'm not, but I'm just glad to hear that you're not throwing the ball at actual ducks. So that's great.
So anyway, we, along with toddler Matt Damon and Nicole, the 4 of us went out to dinner. We showed up, ordered, sat down, waiter greeted us, fantastic, takes our drink order. The 3 of us got our drinks, and Nicole's didn't show up. And then eventually it shows up. She ordered a Mexican lager, and what was delivered was clearly not a Mexican lager. And she's like, and the girl doing the serving said, yeah, we were out of that, so I brought you this instead. And then turned around and walked away. and we all went, what? Okay. And then when our waiter did come back over, we relayed to him what had happened. He's like, "Yeah, you're not paying for that drink tonight. What do you want? We'll figure something out." So the recovery was great, but the service was suspect. And then when we went over and actually did the duck pin bowling, the 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 lane kept breaking and kept getting stuck, and the balls kept getting stuck. And so about every 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, you had to wave down somebody from behind the bar, and they would trudge over and open the cage and climb inside. And then eventually the balls would come back down the lane, and then they would, work their way back out and close the gate back up and trudge back down the lane, only for the process to repeat itself about 7 minutes later, which was one thing when it was just the four of us on one lane with two balls. And then 8 snot-nosed ankle biters showed up for a birthday party, all of whom were on the lane next to us, all of whom were then sharing the same two balls.
Mm.
And, as we know from high school, I'm not a great bowler, but I did break the nerd score by frame 5.
There you go. It's a success.
Right? Which it needed to be, because after the little ankle biters kept tossing the balls down the lane, not rolling them, tossing them. And
you get extra points for distance.
Apparently you do. The lady behind the bar, after trudging down one more time, came back to us and said, "Yeah, we're just going to have to shut your lane down. It's not working." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So, and then she walks away. And I went, "Wait, what?" So then I'm like, so I guess we're done. And we all kind of look at each other, finish our beers, and then I walked back up to the hostess stand and said, "So what's the deal? I guess we're just done halfway through our game." And she's like, "Yeah, you want me to get a manager or something?" And I'm like, "You know what? We're good." And Nicole's like, "Even if they gave us a gift card, I'm not sure I'd want to come back here anyway. The food wasn't that great." The best part about it was the server that made up for the errors that were made. We're like, "No." So what I learned this week is I would not recommend Backpocket Pen and Pixel in Johnston. That's my takeaway.
Two things.
Yes,
One,
sir.
I think the person that brought the beer is the exact same person that does our shopping for DoorDash or whatever service the grocery store near us uses. Last week, Lisa ordered cherries, and what we got we're out of cherries. So they didn't tell us; they just delivered. They were out of cherries, so we got red grapes. Because
Cool. It's the same color and the same size. It's the best
I'm
I
sure
could
you
do.
won't notice. Yeah. The second thing is you're lucky. You're lucky that she wasn't the one though that fixing the bowling pins, because instead of coming back and saying, "I don't know, man, we're just done," what she would have done is come back and then just handed you like some darts. It would be like, "What? Well, we're out of the bowling, so here's some darts."
It's best I can do. Best I can do
Best
some
I can
darts.
do. Do you have a dartboard? No. What? Okay, fine.
I just got this picture from Pawn Stars sitting behind the counter. "Sorry, man. Best I can do is some darts."
It's what I got.
Lord, how about you? What'd you learn this week?
So this could have gone into travel stories, but I learned something interesting. So I flew back up from the undisclosed location up to here to Salt Lake City, and we landed. And I was in the 1A, and on a small on one of the 550s, the 700s that they have the nice seats in, and I didn't have any luggage. I was just with my computer bag. So I'm waiting there at the door. We pull up, and the flight attendant opens the door, and now we're waiting. And she's like, flight attendant's like, I guess we surprised them. She goes, we're exactly on time, and there's no jet bridge. I mean, you can see the jet bridge, but it's not, you can't jump from here to there. So we have to wait. And then the person up at the top comes down and then starts driving the jet bridge. And I don't know if this was our first week or what, but it was slow, and it was taking quite a while. And I'm standing there with the flight attendant, and we're looking out the door so you can see the woman driving this. And it's like, okay, a little bit forward, stop. A little bit to the left, stop. A little bit forward, stop. A little bit to the right, stop. And like the ground crew guys are just like looking, and and the flight attendant's like, she's like, I would not want that job, man. She's like, everybody's just looking at you. Like, I'm staring at her. Everybody's on the ground. You're holding up the entire, she's like, I would not want that. She goes, on the other hand, she could move a little faster. And I said, well, I'm assuming what you really don't want, though, is you don't want to go so fast that you hit the plane. I'm assuming that's bad. And she goes, that's not, hitting the plane isn't the problem. And I'm like, really? So she had opened the door on this CRJ 700, and she goes, see that cable there? So when you open the door, the stairs are built in, right? So you could get down.
Yes.
On either side of the door to help pull the stairs back up are some steel cables that provide tension, right? And she's like, if the person driving that runs that into that cable, plane's broken, we're not flying, got to get a new plane. And I said, seen that happen? Yes. More than once? A lot more than once.
No.
And I'm like, that's kind of a really important piece of that. And she's like, it really is. And nobody thinks about it until it's not working. And then everybody thinks about it. Meanwhile, we're watching her like play Frogger as she gets the thing. Eventually, she gets there. But we had a nice conversation with the flight attendant about here's ways to disable small regional jets. So what did I learn? I learned that cable is really important. Also, don't touch the cable.
The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. You can subscribe to our award-winning podcast with visiting airplane expert Todd Prince.
That don't look right. I'm sure that's fine. No? Okay.
You can subscribe by searching Talkin' on the number 2, wherever you get your pods. There's no G and there's no space. You can stop by and see us at the Tuba City home office. Please don't do that. Thanks to our listeners, our sponsors, and our contributors. We appreciate you. And as always, you can send us your feedback on this episode or any episode to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. Todd?
I was so hoping that when you said that you guys had your 3 drinks and then Nicole's Mexican lager didn't show up. Eventually, when they came out, they brought out a glass and set it down. And she said, "What's this?" And she said, "It's as close as we could get." "What is that?" "Sangria." "What?" "Bit of red wine, bit of fizzy pop. Also, little known fact, a church is named for it."
Do you listen to Todd's podcast? Oh, you must be a toddler. Do you have a number? I don't know. Oh, sweet Lord.
Closest we had to a Mexican lager. I don't doubt that.
Sure.
Sure. A Spanish wine drink. Close enough.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
in Johnston. What do you expect?
I think that's fair.
I gotta go fix the pins.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to have something we need to clean up next week. Until then, we're here. We're talking to Todd. The playback in my ear has been loud the entire episode, and I couldn't figure out, oh, Oh, I should have checked it when we were doing levels. It would have solved a lot of stuff.
What you need to do is in the middle of the recording, just lean back, adjust the knob on the microphone. Trust me, that's the way the professionals do it.